Hello, I'm Richard Ridge for BroadwayWorld. Lee Daniels is presenting Ain't No Mo, the new comedy by Jordan E.Cooper, under the direction of Stevie Walker-Webb. It will open on December 1st at the Belasco Theater. And I caught up with all of them here at the Lambs Club to talk about bringing this exciting new comedy to Broadway. Well, you're about to make your Broadway debut, my friend. How does it feel?
Words don't describe how excited I am. I've waited for this moment since I was like 7 years old. So I am so elated, so elated.
Youngest American playwright in the history of Broadway, what that means to you.
Isn't that crazy? It literally, I've been telling people I try not to think about it because I'm so focused on the work and making the work good. But it really is an honor. And I think it's just opening the door for a whole new vanguard of playwrights to come in and continue the legacy of theater being a disruption, and theater, bringing it into the times and asking people to challenge themselves. Like they say, theater is rehearsal for revolution. So that is the goal, and that is the goal, to bring more people in, younger people, and even some people like we have Adrian Kennedy, 91 years old, you know what I mean? But that's a new voice in the space, you know what I mean? It's a young voice as far as I'm concerned. So I just think that we're really in a time of renaissance for theater and for loud voices.
How excited are you to be bringing this play to Broadway?
I'm almost emotional talking, as like I just spoke to the director a moment ago, and you don't realize the impact that you have when you just blindly want to support a fellow artist. And when I saw the play, I was looking for writers for one of my TV shows, and I felt like television was just churning out the same regular, boring writers. I needed someone that wrote like me, and I met Jordan through the Public Theater, and it changed my life. He changed my life, and I said, not only am I going to hire you for a television show, and he, by the way, is responsible for BET's first Emmy nomination in 42 years, but he's also the youngest playwright on Broadway. Because I was determined to make sure that I brought this to life, and that we kept the original cast, and that we kept the same director, and that we didn't change anything, and that we kept it as precious as was when I first saw it. So, yeah, it's emotional for me. I'm really honored to have done my part.
It's been this incredible process where I've been able to champion my best friend and champion a story and a narrative that I care so deeply about, and have a really good time doing it. I mean, everyone on the team, all the actors, all the designers, they're like people that I love. So I've been able to work for the last 5 years on something that I love with people I love. It's unbelievable.
I think, when I did Precious, it was disruptive. When I did Empire, it was disruptive. It changed the course of television. And I wanted to come to Broadway with a disruption. And I think that this is that.
How did it all come about for you, like getting involved in this?
I love telling this story. It's one of my favorite stories to tell. So Jordan came over to my house on a random weekend. He was just coming over for dinner, and he was like, I want to read you a couple of pages of something I've been writing. And he read me the Three Peaches monologues, and I died, man. I fell out of my chair. I was laughing so hard. He was like, I don't know what it is. Maybe it's a movie. Maybe it's a book. Maybe it's a play. I was like, I don't know what it is, but you have to keep writing it. I didn't know it was an invitation for him to stay at my house. So he stayed in my house for 3 days. He sat in my favorite chair, drank out of my favorite mug, and he didn't get out of that chair until he finished the play. And I mean, it was just this incredible experience of watching this artist like be possessed by the spirit of creativity, and he just sat down and he just it just streamed this play down. I remember at around 2 a.m. I woke up one morning, and I was going to use the bathroom, and he was still sitting there. That blue light was just splashed up on his face, and he was just entranced, finishing this play. And then he read it to me, and I broke down crying because it just yanked out something inarticulable in me. And I cried, and I felt so hopeful about what it meant to be a Black American, and I felt so seen in a way that I'd never felt seen before. And I knew I was going to have to do whatever I could to make sure that this play would be realized in the world.
You make people laugh and think and cry all at the same time.
Yeah, exactly. Because that's life, you know?
Yeah.
That's life and I always say I have a dark sense of humor. So like whenever I wrote this play, because all these unarmed black men were being shot and murdered, right? And my way of dealing with the thing is trying to find some kind of light somewhere in the cloud of darkness. And that thing that makes you go, huh, you know? And that thing for me was, what if we just all got the heck up out of here and said deuces? You know what I mean? What if we just all got on a plane and never looked back? And that's really where Ain't No Mo came from, was this idea of how absurd would it be if we just all got tired and we just all left. And then when you see the play, you realize what can get left when we all leave it. Yeah.
I think that no matter who you are, you will feel reflected by this play. It's such an American play. I think that it's an argument, and Jordan and I go back and forth about this, but I think it's an argument for black patriotism, which I think is something that's so necessary and essential in this moment. You know, ultimately the politic of the play is that the contributions that black Americans have made, the innovations that have come out of our systemic oppression have been so powerful and so undeniable that they have influenced not only our country but the world. And that we should fight to continue to hold this country up to its highest values and its highest morals. I think that's what Miss Bag is trying to say, and that's her purpose in the play. Yeah.
Between the public and Broadway, I mean, you could have written this play yesterday with everything that's going on in our country and continues to go on. What was the biggest change to the play?
Yeah, just very small things that I felt like happened since the pandemic, whether that be a George Floyd reference or whether that be something as simple as like TikTok being a thing, you know what I mean? So little bitty things that brought it up to now. But it really is a play that almost could be done tomorrow. You know what I mean? It could be written tomorrow, it could be written next year, because unfortunately our pain is persistent in this country, you know what I mean? And the ridiculousness is always going to be ridiculous, which is sad to say, but I think that Ain't No Mo gives us something to laugh about and gives us something to challenge and question and really make us sit with who we are, where we are, and how do we move forward, you know? I try to always, you know, leave us with some kind of medicine, even in the pain. Like Alice Walker always talks about, you know, don't open my wound unless you're gonna put a Band-Aid on it, you know what I mean? And I think that that's really what Ain't No Mo is for me, you know? I always say, August Wilson used to say, you know, he used to say he writes for himself, you know? And I agree with that to an extent, because, you know, I feel like the minute I start writing for other people, it's no longer truthful to me, you know? And I think that this play, because it's truthful to me, it's truthful to us, and it's truthful to now, and it's gonna be truthful tomorrow, which I'm grateful for. Yeah.
Let's talk about the audience's reaction. Audiences are loving this play.
Oh yeah. Oh, it's so funny watching people sit in the audience and go from moments of confusion to moments of, like, literally I've watched people laugh and cry at the same time. And just literally be tickled by it and challenged by it. I've seen, you know, I had an Irish woman who came to see the play, told me that she finally understood what it meant to be an American, and that was because of this play that she understood that. I mean, that's a powerful thing for someone to say, you know, and so unexpected. Yeah.
What are you looking forward to the most about opening night? They're really special. They happen once.
Oh, I don't know. I've never had an opening night. What am I looking forward to? Opening night is, I think, the prayer that we have before we go on stage, because I'm going to get emotional, but, you know, God's been really good to us.